Hi, this is Joseph with TouchSense, and today I'd like to share a few thoughts with you on our cultural impressions and how that affects the way we perceive the body and the way we perceive the person in front of us. Um, it seems like it would go without saying, but we really often don't stop to consider the effects that our family conditioning, our cultural conditioning, and our educational background have on our perception of the body. In the West, we have uh, continued to break down the body into finer and finer parts. And that started, we have a long tradition of that anatomically and the way we look at the body. In fact, there was a big departure in, I don't remember, I think it might have been Galen, I don't really remember, but um, where some of the more esoteric or intuitive aspects of perceiving the body were at odds or in conflict with what they were seeing anatomically, and they wanted to explain things with what they were seeing anatomically. So, and we have that for sure, that we have not let go of that. And it leads to certain strengths, and it also leads to certain weaknesses. For one of the biggest weaknesses, I think, it would be putting it all back together or seeing the whole. And now this whole or holism is an interesting concept. It's been around for a long time, but it's an interesting thing to consider. To me, there's very little that is um, that people like to talk about non-dual and these kinds of things, and I think they're saying holism to me. I could be wrong. Not really a philosopher in that way, but in the body, we we have an arterial and venous system. We have an efferent and afferent nervous system. We have sensory motor control. We have contraction and elongation of muscle. We have contraction and elongation of tissues. We have inspiration, expiration of breath. So everything is really, we have cell division and we have cell death. I mean, these things, there's a constant turning over and a constant cycling. And to me, a cycle itself points to the revolving nature of a dual order, so to speak. Um, and it can be really helpful in working with the body because you can see where in the system there's an imbalance. I want to share a quick story with you. A colleague of mine had I don't know if the person was a recent grad or just towards the end of her studies, but my colleague is an acupuncturist, and she had this chiropractic, I'll call her a student, come in and observe with her. And after a few sessions of watching her take the pulses, take the do an intake, ask questions, interact, build rapport, things like this, she asked my friend, my colleague, if she could take her pulses and tell her what she thought. So she obliged and did that. And as she kind of revealed what she had felt, gave her a diagnosis, so to speak, loosely. Um, the young lady actually kind of teared up a bit. My friend asked, "Is everything okay? What's going on?" And she goes, "So you did that without X-rays, without labs, without, you know, uh, a big pile of a big intake. You just observed me, took my pulses, asked me a few questions, and had a synopsis of a place to begin to treat." That's good hands-on. She's not a hands-on therapist; she's an acupuncturist, but it's a very similar model. Um, and it points to, I thought, the comments on the labs and the X-rays and the diagnostics were priceless. Not that those don't have value. Obviously, they have value, but it's not like we need them to begin to treat. And in fact, I would say that they often get in the way of developing the skill set of higher palpation, higher patient interaction, because what we do is we end up looking to the X-ray, looking to the labs for what we're going to do. You're treating essentially the labs, and you're treating the X-ray. You're treating the person in front of you, but you're seeing this other image. So I'm kind of looking at the time, and that's going to have to do it for right now.